Hello guys and welcome back for the final time this season to another team selection video. I'm going to be running through my game week 38 team selection for you guys, the final team selection of the season. But before I get into that, let's quickly have a look at how I did in double game week 37. And I'm pleased to say it was yet another great big green arrow. Really nice there. 131 points on the bench boost scored there with a -8 taken, so 123 in total. It's given me about an 80k green arrow there to 376k, gradually recovering the horror of the previous double game week, the game week 34 massive red arrow. I've regained quite a lot of ground from that week. I made 3 transfers in total to set up the bench boost. Havertz made way for Foden. That paid off as a transfer. Havertz got 6, Foden got 11. I also did share to Dan Burn, which didn't work out because I took a -4 to get rid of Share, who got 0, for Burn, who got 3. So I actually lost a point on that. And I took a -4 to get rid of Areola for Vicario, which again didn't work out. I got a +2 from that. But the -4, so -2 there. So not the best of transfers, to be honest. I should, in hindsight, have simply just gone for Pickford in goal. Got a clean sheet against Sheffield United. He's been absolutely doing my head in this season. I've just not gone for the Everton defence, and they've been exceptional. Almost, you could almost say the second best defence in the season, defence in the league this season. They've been so consistent for clean sheets. But yeah, the team was relatively good, to be honest. I did have a fairly template team, and yeah, the template did succeed. The main man, though, Gvardiol, absolutely going mental in the first game. 2 goals and a clean sheet. Very reminiscent, if you guys were playing, I think it was about 5 seasons ago, of a John Stones double game week, where I believe he got 28 points. Incredibly reminiscent of that. But yeah, 2 goals, clean sheet in the first game, and then just a simple clean sheet in the second one, giving a massive score. It is a bit of a shame that one player got such an insanely high score, because if you didn't have that one player, then you probably didn't have a very good game week. I'll be very impressed if you got a green arrow and you didn't have Gvardiol in your team. But yeah, it's not the best when one specific player massively hauls like that. I've been on the receiving end of that quite a few times this season. But yeah, the rest of the team was pretty all right. Porro getting a goal was a surprise. I did think that Romero was the better defender, and he was the one who didn't score, and Van de Ven and Porro were. So yeah, I would have done a lot better if I had the double up of Dubravka and Van de Ven than if I had Burn and Vicario. But to be honest, with Pope being back, I was never really thinking about going Dubravka anyway. Palmer getting a 14-pointer actually negatively affected my rank. Given he's so highly owned at this point, basically everyone owns him, and more people captain him than don't own him at this point. Foden getting 11-pointer, justifying the hit to bring him in. Gordon did get a goal, which is nice. Jackson also got a goal, which was nice. Isak and Son were the 2 blanking players then. Massive swing if you went with one of the more differential captains. I know most of us went for Haaland. I was always going to back Haaland in this double, to be honest, given the chances he had. But yeah, the bench boost itself, Vicario, obviously not keeping a clean sheet, but he did make a couple saves. It was an all right performance from him. Bruno Fernandes not playing the first game was frustrating, but he did allow for... was it for clean sheet? Yeah, he did allow for the Arsenal clean sheet for Gabriel. So that was nice. He did actually... It would have been all right if he blanked in that game anyway. And then he got a return in the following game against Newcastle. So that was all right. Reguilon broke my heart. He had a clean sheet going into the 90th minute again, and he lost it. Really disappointed about that one. And exactly the same way as well as the previous one, where there was a goal that got VAR'd out. He still had his clean sheet. I imagine he was on for 8 points. I assume he was on for bonus. I didn't actually check. So yeah, that was disappointing. That would have been a really good bench boost if he'd held on to that clean sheet. But it wasn't to be in this case. But yeah, 18 points on my bench boost is pretty good, I think. I think it's about where I would say fair enough. That was all right in terms of a bench boost. my highest bench this season has been 20. So getting 18 points, I'm not too disappointed with it. Obviously, Reguilon keeping a clean sheet and getting Pickford instead of Vicario would have made it really, really nice. I'd been looking at nearly 30 in that case. But yeah, it was all right from the bench boost. I don't think the bench boost is a very good chip in terms of how much you gain from it, because I've made a couple tweets about this. You only gain one attacker, basically. Most of us play a free back anyway. So what you're gaining is one extra attacker. As long as you've got a really good front eight, then that might be, that might be advantageous for you. And then you gain 3 defenders. You gain a goalkeeper and 2 extra defenders. And it only works out for this kind of thing because we've got Arsenal defence who have been absolutely insane and have outscored most of the doubling defenders anyway. The only ones they haven't outscored are the ones who actually got goals. There weren't many clean sheets. So yeah, I don't think the bench boost is actually that useful of a chip. And I don't think it has been worth the planning to make it good, to be honest. I think using a bench boost is great either directly after a wild card or straight away, game week 1. I might look to use it in game week 1 just so it's over and done with and I can concentrate about having a full 11 every single week. But yeah, quite a nice green arrow there. Moving on to how the team is looking for game week 38. I haven't made a transfer yet. I do want to make a differential punt in some regard. I don't think I'm going to be taking a -4 because the team looks great as itself. And I don't think removing a player for a -4, given the starting 11 I've got, is going to be very good unless we get early team news about someone being benched. I think that's the only reason I take a -4. Currently, I'm looking at 3 players to potentially take a differential punt on. Gakpo, who is in the picture there, I really like the look of him just as a forward, a striker punt, and from the Liverpool team as well. I think they will have a good game against Wolves, who I think are pretty much on the beach now. I think they don't really have anything to play for. Neither do Liverpool, but it's Klopp's last game, and I think he will want to go all out in this last game. So yeah, I wouldn't mind having a striker for Liverpool in that game. Trossard is someone I really like the look of. Has been in an exceptional form, still really low owned, and I think he will continue to start for Arsenal, who are obviously gunning to try and win the league, so they will go all out for that game. So yeah, a Liverpool and Arsenal asset. Or Elise is my more differential punt. I know he's actually gained a lot of traction on Twitter. A lot of people like the look of Elise. But I've got Gordon there, who I think, make the switch to Elise. I'd have to bench one of my other attackers there. It's a bit of a difficult one because most of my team have very, very good fixtures. The only one who I don't think is a great fixture is Isak away to Brentford, as Brentford have been massively improving this season. They haven't been great, but they've done really, really well over the last couple of game weeks. And Bruno Fernandes against Brighton, Man United, I mean, they did get a win against Newcastle, to be fair to them. But I'm not too sure how I feel about him as well. I'm currently benching Vicario as well, away to Sheffield United. I think I just back the Chelsea defence a little bit more than I do the Spurs defence. That's currently the reasoning for that decision. But that's a really close one between those two. And of course, the armband is on Haaland. I would like to take a differential captaincy punt, but I just think Haaland's the best choice this week. As boring as that feels to be doing, I just think he's the best choice this week. Obviously, there's Salah as well, who might have a good game. He's just too expensive for me to get to without taking a load of hits, which I really don't want to do for the final week. I just want to kind of take it calm and take a differential punt of some kind with my one transfer. The defence, I think, is almost as good of a defence you could have. I could potentially get in another Arsenal defender. I could go for a Raya or a Ben White, who I've obviously loved this season. I think Ben White has been spectacular. But again, I would have to take 2 transfers to do that. So yeah, it's quite flexible, my team. Let me know in the comments who is your differential punt for the final game week. To try and gain rank is obviously a good chance to do so, as it is only 1 week. But again, if you're a really high rank and you really want to protect your rank, maybe you don't want to make too many rash moves, just captain Haaland and maybe get in a popular player to go for instead, so you don't lose too much ground. But yeah, those are my current thoughts about a differential punt. And moving on to the mini league. I've got the wrong graphic up on my screen, sorry. The mini league team of the game week. We've got Lassie Alvas here with 159 points, which was a game week rank of 1,211. Now, I might be wrong, but I think that's the highest game week rank, or the best game week rank we have seen all season. So absolutely spectacular score there on the bench boost. I don't think that is a proper bench from looking at it. I don't think Palmer, Porro and Gvardiol were the top picks for the bench there. But I could be wrong. That could just be hindsight talking. But yeah, I think Gvardiol was the best defensive pick in the entire game last game week. So I'd be amazed if you had a defense that was good enough to bench Gvardiol. But the difference between most of the teams and this guy's team to get the top score was Gusto getting a 13-pointer. I don't think he even started the first game, but he started the second one, got a clean sheet and an assist. He came off early to bang that clean sheet as well. So absolutely perfect for Lassie's team here. And De Bruyne as well, getting a 12-pointer. He didn't have Foden instead. I think De Bruyne only outscored him by 1. But yeah, Gusto was the main difference maker there. And also double Arsenal defence, getting a little bit of extra points over quite a few people. But yeah, a really, really big score there. But moving on to the leaderboard, it hasn't changed much at all. The only difference from last week is that Ramit Singh, who is in 8th place there, got a top 10 finish. That is the only difference. So we're going into the final day where one of 4 people could win. Or one of 5, I guess. Zviardi. If Zviardi wins the final game week, then it will be a tie. I don't know how I'm actually going to solve a tiebreak. I will have to look into that. But yeah, Marianne, Jared, Alan and Harvey are our front runners to try and win the mini league leaderboard and obviously get one of the prizes as well. In terms of the mini league itself as well, EATEFC, Ahmed is actually in first place at the moment. I'm not too familiar with the team name. I don't know if he actually has gotten any top 10 finishes. He might have been a bit of a late joiner. The mini league is closed though, so no new players could have joined. So he has been in the league for quite a bit. He's currently in top spot. Omar, Susan Wright and Kerry are all tied in second place, only 8 points behind. To get one of the potential prizes as well. Kerry, I believe, has only had a couple top 10s as well. So an incredibly consistent season there as well. And in terms of the final cup game as well, to get the 3rd prize, so the winner of the Team of the Game Week leaderboard gets a prize, the winner of the mini league overall gets a prize, and the winner of the cup gets a prize. The final match is going to be between Atletico Bladen, Mark Smith's team, and Mitzi Rose's team, Norton Knights, are going to be the final fixture there to get one of the prizes. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Please leave a like and get subscribed to the channel for more content. I will probably do a season review video. Obviously, this will be my last team selection video. I've also recently set up a Buy Me a Coffee link, which if you're feeling like it, you can donate to the channel. I don't actually make any money from making YouTube videos, making all this content that I do on Twitter. So I'd really, really appreciate it if you're kind enough to donate to that. But again, absolutely no pressure. I'll still be here making content. It's just if you feel like it. I think you can donate as little as a couple pound, I think it is, maybe 4 or 5. But yeah, I'd massively appreciate any of you who are kind enough to donate to that and just help me out, keep going on this grind. But yeah, check me out on Twitter if you like the kind of if you like graphical stuff, if you like more analytical stuff. I'm a lot more like that over on Twitter, making weekly threads and stuff like that. I hope you've enjoyed the videos this season, guys, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.